Disturbing new details emerging on the demoted Department of Justice official Bruce Ohr. The Daily Caller reporting today that Ohr failed to disclose on ethics forms that his wife was being paid by Fusion GPS. That's the firm behind the discredited anti-Trump dossier. And, of course, Hillary and the Democrats were paying GPS. Willfully falsifying government ethics forms can carry a penalty of jail time. Joining me now to talk about it, Judicial Watch President Tom Fitton. Tom, great to have you here. 18 U.S.C. 1001, if you knowingly and willfully lie to the government, it's a year behind bars, isn't it?
Yeah, Paul Manafort's facing charges for doing things like that, for filing false Foreign Agent Registration Act forms. Here you had a Justice Department official who's required by the regs and the law to disclose information about spousal income so his supervisors can figure out if there are conflicts of interest in his work. And in this case, he failed to disclose information about the fact that his spouse worked for a Clinton campaign vendor, Fusion GPS, compiling information, evidently, for the anti-Trump dossier that Bruce Ohr was using and laundering into the Justice Department.
And there's a picture of Bruce Ohr and his wife, Nellie Ohr. So just so our viewers understand, Hillary Clinton and the Democrats are paying Fusion GPS, which is paying Nellie Ohr, which means money's going into Bruce Ohr and Nellie Ohr's joint bank account. So he receives a financial benefit, and he then uses this Clinton paid-for dossier to damage Trump by tipping off the FBI, which launches a criminal investigation of Trump and associates, and then spies on Trump associates. Do I have that about right?
Yeah, well, you know, I think the dossier was being used widely in the Justice Department, but what's interesting about Ohr's involvement was he didn't disclose, at least on these forms, his connections to Fusion GPS. But even after the FBI got the cold feet about Steele because of his conduct and pretended to cut him off, or continued to meet with him and Fusion GPS, and again, launder the information back into the Justice Department. So a major issue. And, you know, taking a further step back, this is another piece of evidence showing that the superstructure, as I call it, of the Russia collusion investigation into Donald Trump has been really irredeemably compromised and needs to be shut down. I don't know what other evidence you need. On top of the number 4 official at the Justice Department, his wife working for the Clinton gang that was using this information to get FISA warrants to spy on the Trump team, and Lord knows what else. We think the dossier is just being used for FISA. I'm convinced it was used to justify the unmasking of General Flynn, Attorney General Sessions, and Donald Trump himself from foreign intelligence intercepts.
Should Flynn file a motion to set aside his plea?
Well, you know, I defer to the lawyers as what the process is. He's before Judge Sullivan, who excoriated previously the Justice Department over its mishandling and misconduct in the Senator Ted Stevens case where they were withheld evidence from the defense. He doesn't like government misconduct by prosecutors. And this is the judge who I think would be willing to listen to arguments, especially since Peter Strzok, the FBI agent, anti-Trumper, was involved in his interview, and especially since we've got report after report that the FBI, including James Comey, after the Flynn interview, concluded he didn't lie.
Well, not only that, but we now know, with hindsight, based on information that's since been revealed after his guilty plea, that the FBI had no business even talking to him because his conversation with Kislyak was in no way a crime. So they were trying to entrap him by forcing him to have a conversation with him about something that's not criminal.
Sally Yates, Andrew McCabe, maybe President Obama, they all had it in for General Flynn, and they conducted, at least Yates and McCabe, along with Peter Strzok, an ambush interview of General Flynn.
Right.
But even the FBI agents concluded he didn't lie during that interview. What changed between then and now? It was the appointment of Mueller.
Right.
You know, Mueller has some answering to do about what his use of the dossier has been.
Don't get me started on Mueller and his conflicts of interest and the partisan team he assembled. Tom, another time. Thank you very much, Tom Fitton of Judicial Watch.